Greetings and welcome. As you come on in, please open up I guess you just have to scroll down for a chat, depends on what device you are on, and type a 27 or an 11. 11 for me time here in the mountains. Type a 27 if in the chat, if you can see me and hear me would be certainly preferential. Or shoot some emojis. I love seeing emojis and I love seeing who's with me. So share some love, say hello, and welcome to SEM Mondays. SEM Mondays I created SEM Mondays as an opportunity to be able to have a regular, consistent way for me to be able to answer your questions live and in real time. And it's there's so many moving parts to doing this. It's daunting at times, but I am willing to work through my personal challenges to be able to connect with you virtually from the safety and comfort of our own home or office and create a venue to be able to support you to either get started with source energy medicine or perhaps take your next step with source energy medicine. So I'm super grateful for the technology. I'm super grateful for our online community, and especially now during this pandemic is going to be a long-term thing, at least according to most of the health experts. So figuring out how to live in the midst of a pandemic, I think, is part of what life is going to be like moving forward. It's certainly not going to go back to the way it was before. And as a way of continuing to be able to support you during this health crisis, part of SEM Mondays is going to continue to be a group energy healing session, which we'll get to after the Q&A. And we'll do about 10 minutes of Q&A. A couple of things that I want to talk about. If you are watching us live, you can type your questions into the chat stream, and I'll do my best to bounce back and forth between questions that have come in from other sources, as well as questions from folks who are live with me here today. And if you're watching this in replay, you can always scroll down and leave your questions in the chat. And whether it's questions or if you have a healing request, a lot of people like to make healing requests for the energy healing session. Just be aware. As YouTube says, welcome to a live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. It's a public forum, right? So be sensitive about what you type in there. And also, please be kind and loving and respectful. Certainly, we can all use more of that these days, it seems. So I love that SEM Mondays went from an 11-minute open Q&A to now it's extended to most Mondays, been about 40-45 minutes or more. Because of the heightened levels of questions, which I totally get. As well as the energy healing session. I certainly don't want to rush through that. And it has become, for a lot of people, I receive so many emails, so many comments, thank yous from people. Some folks are watching the replays, fast forwarding to, the energy healing part once or twice or three times a day to help to support them right during this crisis. So again, the first few minutes is going to be Q&A. Actually, I have one topic only that I want to talk about today and a couple of things that I want to mention. But while we're talking about the COVID-19 crisis, to continue to, back when it all started in March, there were so many questions. Folks had, I think, rightfully so, a lot of questions, a lot of concerns about the pandemic, about coronavirus, about COVID-19. And what to do. So I created a special master class, and to be able to continue to support folks who are, folks find source energy medicine every single day, which I think is awesome. So Milo, who does all of my tech stuff, has that master class set up so that you can register and go through the content at your own pace anytime that you want. I think that based on not just my 2 cents or my opinion, right, but the feedback that I have received. It's a $111 masterclass, and there were some comments that people would pay 10, 20 times. I would have, before Source Energy Medicine, paid $100,000 for what's in that masterclass. I'm certainly not asking you to do that. And I've fully realized that $111 for some people is cost prohibitive these days. We do have a scholarship fund available. It is in horrible shape these days, mostly because I haven't done any fundraising during this whole pandemic, and now am doing fundraising again. So if you see emails about it and you don't understand why we have a scholarship fund, it's because I am firmly, firmly, firmly committed to have everything that we offer be available to everyone. Hopefully, gosh, you are inside the Source Energy Medicine Quick Start Guide, the free. I used to call it a mini course in Source Energy Medicine, and it's so not a mini course in Source Energy Medicine. It's, I think, a wonderfully valuable, in-depth resource, and it contains everything that's essential to your journey with Source Energy Medicine, not just to get started, but long term. But that content does not enable you to achieve mastery of Source Energy Medicine. And to a lot of people, achieving mastery of Source Energy Medicine, especially these days, is going to create a great sense of peace and well-being, and a knowing that no matter what happens, I am prepared. I have the technology, I have all of the tools, I know how to use them to their maximal benefit, and I have a community. I have a community of like-minded, really creative, very loving, kind, generous souls who come together who are working on healing ourselves and joining in community together. So it's this isn't a pitch for our online courses. You couldn't register for them if you wanted to. You could register for the special masterclass, but and we're working on how to make everything more affordable and easier for everyone. We are looking at some of these payment platforms that enable you to break down registration into 2 or 3 or 4 payments, and with modest interest rates. But even for the special masterclass, there were some people who were asking to break up the payment into 2 payments or defer payments for 30 or 60 days. All you have to do is send us an email and let us know what you would like, and we'll figure out the logistics. So just while I'm talking about masterclass, last week I mentioned the possibility of doing a different masterclass that's all about the endocannabinoid system, which is a relatively new discovery, new scientific discovery. It's a massive system that we know very, very little about, but it was discovered trying to figure out how it is that THC, the component that is in medical cannabis, has the effects that it has, and it was discovered, and anandamide was discovered. So this special master class we're likely going to produce it, and I'll be sending out some surveys to see if it's something that you're interested in. But we would really be looking at what is cannabidiol or CBD, what is THC, the component or one of the components that's in medical cannabis. Why is it being so widely embraced by people who experience anxiety and depression, chronic pain, seizure syndromes, and on, and really looking at how Source Energy Medicine really doing a side-by-side, right? Source Energy Medicine for pain versus CBD for pain versus medical cannabis for pain. And it's a huge, huge, huge topic, way, way, way more than we could ever possibly cover in SEM Mondays for sure. And I thought about doing some Source Energy Medicine nuggets of wisdom video around it, but it would end up being like so many little nuggets of video. I think doing a master class makes the most sense. So I'm not sure production schedule-wise how that's going to unfold, but if you have interest in learning about the endocannabinoid system, and really doing, I'm going to do as fair and impartial a comparison between, in all transparency, I have been fascinated by all of this, the endocannabinoid system and CBD, specifically for probably close to a year now, and I've done a lot of research, a lot of testing. I've started making my own CBD oil, mostly because the only oil that I could find that energetically tested well is $200 an ounce, and there are 19 flavors of it, so it just became cost prohibitive pretty quickly. So I taught myself through trial and error. I learned how to extract CBD from industrial hemp and do it in a way that is that's very unique. So it ends up with very high potency, and it is certified biodynamic, certified organic, and of course I control all of the ingredients and all of that stuff. So this is something that's fascinating to me, and throughout a lot of this masterclass, I'll be completely transparent with what I'm finding, what I'm learning, what I'm discovering, and whether CBD would be a better option for you than source energy medicine would. So yeah. So some way or another, in the chat thread, or send us an email, or post something in any of our community forums if you're interested in that masterclass. Just let us know. And again, keep an eye out for emails. I will be sending emails that are basically be a survey, right? See if that's something that you'd be interested in. And it'll likely be a combination of live webinars and some pre-recorded content, and some kind of a forum where we can share ideas and ask questions and things like that. And the price point will likely be $111. So there have been a bunch of questions that have come in recently around Lyme disease. And Lyme is an odd one, and it's interesting. And if you've been following me for any length of time,